Is about conditions aboard an aircraft carrier central to the war with Iran. After almost 9 months at sea, sailors' families say the USS Abraham Lincoln lacks basic supplies, and those supply shortages are affecting the mental health and morale of crew members. Charlie Daggett.
People getting angry at headlines, but this story is different because it anchored something you can't talk your way out of. Time at sea, basic human conditions. There's a lot of stories coming out, and I heard about this in April, but none of the media will report this stuff. You gotta go find it. But the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier has been a deployment for almost 260 consecutive days. I mean, supporting U.S. operations in the Middle East, including the war with Iran. And the deployment didn't just happen; it was extended multiple times. With only brief port calls. So the question is simple. If you extend the crew like that, what happens to the systems meant not to protect them? Food, sanitation, water, sleep, mental health. I mean, when families and veterans described conditions like meals reduced to like very small portions, long lines for food, lack of fresh options, moldy showers, broken toilets, laundry reported down for weeks, broken plumbing, water shortages, long stretches without hot water. The sailors are reporting extreme stress and constant noise and vibration from the aircraft. So intense that there were reports of like suicide, like somebody tried to jump off the aircraft carrier. Like, this is sad. Like, it's just, I just don't understand like how we can allow this to happen to our military men. I mean, it forces the public to have a brutal reality check because, we're so spoiled over here. We don't realize what's going on, like either the reports are widely exaggerated, but they're not. They've been saying this for years. Like, this is not acceptable. Like, like these men aren't able to speak with their, loved ones, and their letters aren't getting out. Like, the morale is so down there, like my dad used to do deployments for 6 months at a time, and they were brutal because they used to be underwater. He was on a submarine for 2 months at a time without coming up, so to have your deployment extended and you got your kids at home, you're missing holidays, like it just just has their minds in a bad place. You just don't know when this is going to end, and why are they there?
Hey folks, Senator Mark Kelly, and I know people are seeing the news stories about the USS Abraham Lincoln, about them being on cruise for an extended period of time, not being back in port for 250 days, and mental health issues that some of the sailors are having, some of which have reported that they've tried or contemplated jumping off the ship. It's a tragic thing. It's horrible to think that we have service members who are, there defending our country, who feel like they don't have another option, and they do. There's a thing called a Brandon Act, which I supported and helped get passed, where service members can elevate these concerns to their leadership at their command and get mental health help. So I encourage people to look at that. Say the other issue here is why this is really challenging for folks is that this president got us into this war with Iran with no strategic goal, without a plan, without a timeline, and he has no way out. And because of that, you've got these deployments that are being extended to much beyond what anybody had anticipated or planned for. Hey, service members know they're going to have to go overseas and defend our country, and they're subject to a deployment schedule that they don't have a lot of control over. They get that. But when you have a president that has done such a poor job explaining what this is all about and how the American people are getting anything out of this, The other thing is there needs to be an investigation on why this is happening. Why are the living conditions aboard that ship, so poor at this point, and these deployments going on for so long that people feel like they need to end their lives. So I'm calling for this administration and the Department of Defense here to investigate what's going on aboard the Abraham Lincoln.
I mean, if a senator, someone tasked with oversight, calls it sad and wrong, what does it suggest about the gap between what sailors and families describe and what leadership publicly dismisses? Now, I'm glad this guy came out and said something. It needs to be said. And it's not a left or right thing. These are human lives over there. And, you got to imagine it's 24/7. It doesn't stop. There's no breaks. There's no weekends. They're on a ship. And when your stay gets extended, you don't know when the end is. Their mental health has to be it's got to be at such a low point. And we're in a war that we should not be in my opinion. I just want to know. When is it going to stop?
What else do I have to say?
Family members of U.S. service members are concerned about the conditions on board the USS Lincoln.
Well, no, that ship is moving under now. That ship is moving right now, or very shortly, and it's being replaced with another very similar ship.
Has the deployment's gone on too long? Are you worried
No,
about the mental health concerns?
Not nearly long enough. Thank you, everybody.
Did you hear that clip? Not long enough? It doesn't seem like a sound of concern. It sounds like it's contempt, especially when the core allegations are about food shortages, mold, sanitation failures, broken plumbing, and people trying to jump off ships. Even if you don't trust every single report, the framing still matters. There's people, there's wives and children and, parents calling in. And why deny it to public instead of, it's just, I understand you have to protect some things. When my dad was out to sea, there's some problems on the ship, and my mom was, told that it was something minor when it was actually a lot more than what they told them. But this is they've been lying about this for months. This started in April. Now I know it's important to be accurate and fair. U.S. Central Command acknowledged at least one of the sailors fell overboard, but they said there was no deaths and described some media reports as misleading. I don't believe them at all. The Navy also stated that sailors have access to clean water, functional AC, and healthy meals. But you saw those pictures. Come on. So the real issue to me is what's the talking point? How do we verify it? Who checks? And what happens after the check shows the problems? Are they still not going to do anything about it? Because the proof is there. And you saw his response. And there's a reason this is a sensitive story. The Lincoln wasn't just sitting idle. It was involved in, we went down to Venezuela. And it's been involved in when we first started going to war in February and the blockade. And, it's been reported over months that the extended deployment has strained both the crew and equipment. The bases are all destroyed, so it's hard to get food out to them. The new carrier, the USS George Washington, is en route to replace the Lincoln, thank God, with arrival expected to be late August. So, they got a couple more weeks, and I'm glad they're going to be home to their families. But this raises another question. If this replacement is coming, why did the system tolerate record-long conditions in the meantime? It sounds like a failure to me. If the public is hearing acceptable conditions, but families are describing shortages and collapse, then we need to have clear answers on everything: food standards, who verified meal quality and nutrition adequacy during the extended periods, sanitation and hygiene. There's reports that they don't have deodorant, shampoo, and all that. What inspections are being documented? Water and plumbing. Obviously, if you're out to sea a long time, that stuff needs to be, all this stuff needs to be, maintained, worked on. And they're not meant to be out to sea that long. And mental health, man, being away from families and not knowing when you're going home or what's next. Because no family should have to beg for basic care with leaders postured publicly and just lie. Like I mean, it's like they're considered like numbers. It's just so sad. I'm just tired of these endless wars. And then the hardest part is sailors aren't props or a political argument, man. Like they're people. These people are sent into danger, and the cost that service becomes more like moldy shower shortages, shattered morale. Then leadership either failed or lied to us. Like, I mean, you got to think about that. If they're feeling like this, like they're not military ready for what they're doing. They got to be in the best shape they possibly can be. And either way, the public deserves the same thing: truth, oversight, and real correction, not denial. No lies. I understand you have to protect some things, but we're talking April, and here we are in August, and this stuff is still going on. And of course, the media is finally reporting it. It's just, I just don't understand how this is okay in people's eyes, and how Fox News can say that it's not as bad as what they say it is, when you actually have mothers and daughters and sons or parents are calling in and saying this is happening. If this story makes you feel frustrated, you're not alone. I'm there right with you. Anyways, guys, if you'd like to talk more about this, if you have any questions, comments, concern, please comment, like, subscribe. Helps me get out there to more people. And God bless, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks.